Dari, hello. It's the middle of September 2021, and this is a video about parking a vintage hard drive. So, the backstory is that I'm selling my vintage hard drive collection, and the latest buyer of a Seagate ST225 drive wanted me to make sure that I'd parked the heads of the hard drive. So to explain from first principles, in the olden days, so we're talking about 1980 or thereabouts, hard drive heads didn't park to a safe place when powered off. These days that's just business as usual. So when you power on a hard drive, it would typically go from where it's been parked to perhaps track 0 and initialize itself and register itself at track 0. And when you power on an old hard drive, it would do a similar thing, but when you powered off the old hard drive, it wouldn't necessarily move to a safe place. So on the screen you can see the Seagate ST225 OEM manual, and I shall read from the shipping zone note. It says the ST, can I highlight it here, Mr. Mouse? Yeah, so it's this section here. I shall read it. It says the ST225 employs a shipping zone located from cylinders 615 to 670 to preserve data integrity during shipping and transport. The read-write heads may be parked in the shipping zone by issuing a seat to any cylinder between 615 and 670. The drive may then be powered down. Upon power up, the drive will recalibrate to track 0. If heads are parked while the power is applied, any step pulse will cause the unit to recalibrate to track 0. So, we're going to try that, and as usual, things are never simple. And by the way, I wanted to show everyone that on the actual electrical interface, I'm scrolling down my PDF, which I scanned, of my original Seagate manual. You'll notice there's no electrical signal saying, oh, go to shipping place. There's only seeking, there are seek ability to select the drive. You get a ready back, there's an index, and there's a seek complete here, for example, and there's a step. So there is no specific way to go to this parking area. All you've got to do is to tell it to seek to that area. That's what the manual says. So instead of the manual, what we're going to do is we're going to plug in the drive. I'm going to put the microphone maybe close to the drive so you can hear the seeking that's going on. So my voice will be a little bit muted, I suppose. Right, so its microphone is as far down and close to the drive as can be. I am plugging in the disk unit. So you can hear that sound, and that's, to my knowledge, that's the characteristic sound of the drive starting up. You can hear the motor spinning, and that was the heads realigning back to track 0. So I'm now going to switch on the host computer, which is my lovely Comanco Z2 computer. I'm pressing the power button on now. I'm going to the log on screen. So it's doing a memory test, and I'm escaping the boot with RDOS 3.12, the last RDOS I think that was ever made. So the only way that I know of being able to talk to the hard disk is to actually activate the hard drive interface is to use the test. So let's do the test first. We'll do hard. It's unit 0, and it is a quick read test, seek test, and then we're going to escape at this point. So now you get the prompt ST00:. So we're now talking to the hard drive 0. So this is the ROM on the floppy disk controller talking through to the hard drive STDC controller. And bear in mind that's a little computer all by itself with its own Z80 CPU and memory. So in the olden days this wasn't the case before the Kremenko had hard drive controllers, but one of the last ROMs that they made, 3.12 allows you to talk to the STDC, so you don't have to boot the system to do some sort of diagnostics. Okay, so now we can convert. Ideally we want 6, so the tracks are numbered from track 0. So what it actually said was track 615 to 670. But if we seek to track, because I've tried this before, if you seek to track 266, it's fine. If I seek to track 267, which is counting from 0, that would be track 615, we actually get an error. So what that's saying is that, so ARDIS is a very stupid program. It doesn't know anything about the track limitations of any particular disk. So what that's saying is that it can't seek to track 267. It's tried and it's got back a return code of an error. So the best what one can do on a Kremenko system is to seek to the track which is furthest from track 0. Now I had said something different in a previous video, and I'm rewinding my comments having read the manual, which is always a good idea. So if we look at this picture of the drive on the left hand side here, we can see that the outermost edge is track 0. So that's the lowest areal density, sort of most reliable part, the place where you'd put track 0, because that might contain some critical information about, say, your partition table. And the innermost track is track 6, well, counting from 0, it'd be track 614 for this drive. So what we've done is we've seeked the head to the most innermost track, and the idea is that these stepper motors don't step all by themselves. So the idea is when they're powered off, they should stay in a particular position. So this drive is now being powered off. Let's just get rid of the PDF. So I am now on track 266. That's on the inside of the hard drive, and it's the drive, in fact, where you might want to have your alternate track table, and it's the drive that would be least used ever. So that's the best I can do. The drive is now being powered down and ready for shipping. Okay, Derek, thanks for watching.